am very excited here. We are here in Winter Garden, Florida. And we're here starting a new series of people that make Orlando great, that are doing unbelievable things for their community. And we have Scott Ballou of Matthew's Hope. And he's been doing some incredible things, and they're actually preparing for this Harvest of Hope garden party, and we want to get the word out. But first, you got to meet Scott. If you've never met him, you got to check out his page, MatthewsHopeMinistries.org, right. Facebook, Matthew's Hope. But, first, I want to, Scott, let everybody know in Orlando, what inspires you to do awesome things to help people of the Central Florida?
I think the biggest thing is seeing that there's need out there. And, we have an opportunity every single day to either make eye contact or refuse to do so. We can pretend something doesn't exist, or we can see it and meet it head on. And what we desire to do, what I desire to do personally, is meet these things head on. And rather than look at why we can't do something, talk about why we can. Not rather than looking at solving the entire issues, doing what we can, not what we can't.
Wow. And what is your mission here at Matthew's Hope?
Our mission here is we are a ministry, and we don't hide that. In the short version, what we tell people is that we are here to demonstrate the love, hope, grace, and mercy of Jesus Christ in all we do. And we're a facilitator of opportunity for those who choose, key word there, who choose to move towards a life of independence and self-sustainability. So our goal is not to necessarily make you more comfortable being homeless, but to move you towards independence and self-sustainability.
And how many people are you helping currently?
At any given time, there's normally several hundred. We have helped several thousands over the last 7 years of our existence. Right now in our housing, we're sitting at about 30 people. The bulk of those, about 60% of the people we serve right now are women and children.
Wow. And I heard that this all started from a freeze warning? What's the genesis of that?
It did. Well, a couple of friends
in Florida here.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, what happened is a few years ago, about 7 years ago actually, we were looking at what it might look like if we were to try to house homeless people when we became dangerously cold. And it was just me and a few friends. And we started to talk to various churches and what have you, and the truth of the matter is nobody, they really didn't want anything to do with it. They were concerned about, they'd ask questions like, well, what if they came to church? As a pastor and a Christian, I'm going, well, maybe that'd be a good idea. But long story short is, what ended up happening is, if you look back in 2010 at the beginning, all hell broke loose that year, temperature-wise. And so before we really had a plan in place, we moved forward because I think our meeting was supposed to be on January 17th, and on January 3rd, if you look back, it hit about 28 degrees at night.
Wow.
And a friend of mine called me, and there was just 3 of us at the time, and she says, what are we going to do? I said, let's pull the trigger and see what happens.
Wow.
But what that did is it got the attention of the community. Various news agencies got a hold of us, asked us what we were doing, and the answer back then was, we really don't know.
Whoa.
But we realized
there's a sign. You're always looking for a sign.
Right. Hey. But we realized there's a bigger need than what we thought. And we ended up housing people something along the lines of 40 days over the next 90 days. And that made us realize the need that was in here in the West Orange community was much larger than we anticipated.
Wow. So are you supported by the government, or do you have people help you with donations? Can they donate financially, or their time, or how can people help you help others?
We take no government funding.
Okay.
We raised last year about $750,000 directly from the community. About 65% of that comes from individuals just like you and I.
From people like you.
There you go. That saw the mission of what we were doing and said, I want to be a part of that. Along with that, we do have some churches and various businesses that support us as well. I think what's most significant is the last 3 years, we have averaged over 50,000 volunteer man-hours per year.
Wow.
If you put a value to that, according to the IRS, that's about worth $1.2 million in labor.
Wow.
That was donated by the West Orange community. What's interesting is it's stretched way far beyond it now. We've got people coming in from all over the country now that have done mission trips here, have supported us, have tried to model us, and it's working.
Wow. So now tell us a little bit about this Harvest of Hope garden party that's coming up. I think this Saturday, right?
This Saturday, the 22nd, it's going to be a blast. This is our 3rd annual party. We put together, each table has its own theme, which is kind of cool. There's an award for the best dressed table.
Yeah.
There will be music, a comedian, Scott Maxwell from the Orlando Sentinel.
Oh, I love Scott Maxwell. Yeah.
He's a phenomenal guy. He understands what's going on in our community.
Right.
We have a photo booth. We have a caricature drawings going on. We'll have a silent auction, and then we're going to basically take some time during our meal to share what Matthew's Hope is really about. Florida Hospital is our presenting sponsor for the 3rd year in a row. And we have been able to partner with them this last couple of years to where it's nice to have them support this, but the bigger stories are the lives that are being saved, that we are working with them or they're working with us in partnership. We just had a guy that we took care of that had a tumor, stage 4 tumor, cancerous tumor, taken off his shoulder the size of a softball. And he would have died in the woods somewhere. And instead he is happy and healthy, and his life is continuing on. It's not perfect yet, but he's got time now.
Absolutely. So how can people watching this, how can they help you, and how can they help support this amazing endeavor and this amazing party this Saturday?
I think one of the biggest things is if they, first off, I'd encourage them to check us out on Facebook or on the web and take a look at what we're doing. We have 15 houses in the community. We have our own preschool, Firm Foundation Montessori preschool for homeless children and at-risk kids. We have a Hope Chest or repurposed, refinished furniture where people can work and what have you. And I'm sharing all that with you because if they'll look at that, they can see ways of supporting us. Mm-hmm. Aside from there, they're welcome to come and see what we're doing, ask for if they want to take a tour of what we're doing. And if they want to come out, we still got we've got over 300 people coming, so we've got about 150 seats left.
Okay.
Wow. And if anybody else would like to come, tickets are $75 for an individual, includes your meal. And then table sponsorships start at about $1,000 a piece.
Oh, that's fantastic. You know, I think everyone here is going to want to jump in and join up. We'll get a link in there. Okay. But we sincerely appreciate everything that you do to make Central Florida great and to inspire other people. We hope that Scott has inspired you as he inspired us, and he's inspired so many. So thank you very much. If you could leave everybody here with one last piece of advice on how they can make a difference in other people's lives, what would it be?
You know what? It's simple. Do what you can, not what you can't, but do something.
I love it. So get out there and do something great, and let us know why you love Orlando, because we love Orlando like people like Scott, people making a difference in other people's lives. So thanks for joining us, and check out the Harvest of Hope Garden Party.